If you look at the polls right now, you're usually tied in third place, which means last place.
No. Excuse me. Last place is Eric Adams.
Okay.
He's at 8%.
Oh.
I'm up there with Cuomo and Zohran Mandami.
So if you...
Right. President Trump promised to end child sexual mutilation, and he delivered. What, everywhere, or? Oh, this is about, I thought this was actually about like genital mutilation, but this is about trans. Good job, wow.
York, all over the world. They brought him to Mount Sinai in New York, and they had a laboratory that I visited where they would induce food allergies and other allergies in rats and feed them different things to try to find out what treated it. And I asked the scientist there, how do you induce an allergy in a rat? And he said, it's formulaic. You take an aluminum adjuvant and inject it into that rat with a protein. If it's a peanut protein, that rat will have a lifetime allergy to peanuts. If it's a dairy protein, he'll have a lifetime allergy to dairy. If it's a latex protein, he'll have a lifetime allergy to latex. That's the same aluminum adjuvant that's in the hepatitis B vaccine. We're giving, and many of those vaccines contain peanut oil excipients. There's a study by two scientists called Mawson and Cowlings, one of them from the University of Mississippi and one of them from Britain, and they looked at the same issue. And they
Don't you think that if it was that easy to give allergies to people that somebody would have said something about this by now? I guess not if you think that literally the entire world is roped together for some fucking reason on these conspiracies. But just think people are missing the point with the EU refusing to retaliate to Trump's tariffs. Why would a counter tariff ever be the solution if you're just stifling innovation and increasing inflation on your own citizens? Okay.
They show that it's not only when you give what's in the shot when you give that injection, but also what's in the ambient environment at the time. So that if there's a Timothy weed outbreak, at the time you get that injection, they found that you could have a lifetime allergy to Timothy weed. And vaccinated children, according to their study, are 30 times more likely to have allergic rhinitis than unvaccinated children. So we need to look at the aluminum in the vaccines and see if we need to look much closer. We're doing that today at NIH to see if that has anything to do with this.
The number one indicator also when people say things, when they're talking about looking into stuff, when people say things like, we need to look into this, and it already has been looked into, that's like a good indicator that you can ignore everything this fucking retard has to say on literally any topic ever. Like they're a worthless, valueless human who would be better off never being spoken from by any single person in society ever. Like the idea that like this guy is fucking functionally retarded and it's trying to say, oh, we need to look into these things. It's like, has anybody looked into it at all yet? Maybe like it's your job as the Health and Human Services Secretary to see if anybody's looked into it. Is there a single study on any of that you could reference or cite or reference when you're talking about looking into it? According to the community note, apparently there is, but I hate the jacking off that dipshits like this guy and Joe Rogan and everybody else is like, well, have we looked into this? I don't know. Have you looked into if it's been looked into? Like maybe you could do that before giving a speech on it. Maybe.
Explosion of allergies that began in 1989, which was the year they expanded the vaccine schedule.
Obviously, wherever the data leads us, but in Israel, they do use the same Hep B vaccines as...
They don't use anywhere nearly as much, and they don't give them early in life. We give that hepatitis B vaccine during the first 24 hours of life. No other country in the world does that.
Aluminum is used as an adjuvant in non-live vaccines administered in early childhood. Concerns persist about potential association between vaccine and aluminum-absorbed vaccines and increased risk for chronic autoimmunity, atopy, or allergy, and neurodevelopmental disorders. Large-scale safety data remain limited to assess the association between cumulative aluminum exposure from early childhood vaccination and risk for autoimmune, atopic, or allergic and neurodevelopmental disorders. 1.2 million children born in Denmark between 1997 and 2018 who are alive and residing in the country at age 2. Measurements. Incident events of 50 chronic disorders, including autoimmune, dermatologic, endocrinologic, hematologic results. Cumulative aluminum exposure from vaccination during the first 2 years of life was not associated with increased rates of any of the 50 disorders assessed for groups of combined outcomes. Adjusted hazard ratios per 1 milligram increase in aluminum exposure were 0.98 for any. Why don't they? Maybe there were, outside of this 50 chronic disorders, maybe there were more that they didn't measure that they should have. Jesus. MAGA Florida Republican jailed and charged with 24 felonies after soliciting a 13-year-old female child and transmitting child porn. God damn.
Simple in the first term, but much simpler in the first term, less responsibility. Real quick, are you for the redistricting that the president's pushing for in Texas and Ohio? Because in response, the Democrats say, we're going to do it to you in New York and California.
California has a problem. They've got to amend their state constitution, as I understand the law out there, to do it. Look, we have to fight for every inch of ground in the country. We're in an era of small margins, as you said, because of gerrymandering and redistricting, but they have to follow the law. I'm convinced the red states will, and we will probably have a few more seats out of that. And, of course, that's good news for me.
Fucking loser. Degenerate fuck. Retrofitting Trump's 747-8, a luxury jet bribed from Qatar, might cost taxpayers $934 million. Wait, what the fuck? Beginning the White House to discuss another of Washington's expensive renovation projects. The quest for refurbishing a free Air Force One from Qatar is quite another matter. Officially and conveniently, the price tag has been classified, but even by Washington standards, where black budgets are often used as an excuse to avoid revealing the cost of outdated spy satellites and lavish end-of-year parties, the techniques being used to hide the cost of Mr. Trump's pet project are inventive, which may explain why no one wants to discuss a mysterious $1 billion transfer of funds from one of the Pentagon's most over-budget, out-of-control projects, the modernization of America's aging ground-based nuclear missiles.
Your producers had been reaching out trying to get me to talk to you for at least a year and a half. And my feelings toward coming on your show went from I would never in a million years to kind of giving myself the opportunity to listen to your podcast, to figure out who you really are. Because, of course, I had very strong thoughts about who you are.
Really?
Yeah, but I realized that it was based on
the lying liberal media. God, she's such a hideous fucking human being. A hideous fucking ghoul, dude. Oh my God.
clips that I would watch of you that had gone viral. And they had gone viral because they were offensive, or you had said something that was
viral, like syphilis is viral.
I mean, pretty much. I mean, you should think of it that way, because it was mostly painting you in a very negative light. And to be sure, you and I have some pretty deep disagreements, but I think that some of what you've been talking about lately, like, hits at the heart of what I care most about. And that's the importance of this country representing the American people, the importance of the United States being a sovereign country that has politicians and a government that prioritizes the American people as opposed to a foreign government. And speaking out the way you've been speaking out about some of these issues takes a lot of courage, because it goes against the grain and it goes against, I mean, decades of propaganda and conditioning in American media.
Okay. Destiny, this is what Pisco watched and said this was great this morning. It was wild. I sent you a clip. Wait, what? There's no shot. He has to be trolling.
Careful about Trump.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it.
That was the era that I'm not proud of. And I was basically building.
So Gen X, with the boyfriend, says this is the most idiotic conversation I've ever heard, and I watch QAnon streamers for fun. It's a bit insulting, because I actually am really enjoying this conversation, and so
people in chat are saying he was trolling. I don't trust it. I'm sorry. You have to send me you have to send me like the full clip, because I don't trust you guys. Sometimes people are trolling, you guys don't realize it. So I would have to see the full thing.
Because I actually am really enjoying this conversation, and so it's almost like you're making some kind of aspersion at me. And I don't like shit on you for your beliefs. I don't shit on you for practically anything.
He was trolling the whole stream, LeMayo. He wasn't trolling. He keeps getting one guy in chat throughout the whole segment.
My own prison.
He was definitely trolling. The entire stream was a bit. Okay.
Secretary Rubio, thank you so much for sitting down with me. Since becoming Secretary of State, you really have made some big changes here.
Thank God. We can get the real take on Marco Rubio from Lara Trump. My God.
kind of pared things back at the State Department. You've restructured some things here, and you actually say that this was long overdue. So tell me about the changes you made and why you felt like they were so important.
Well, the important thing to know is that we reorganized the boxes, in our org chart in terms of how the State Department functions. This wasn't an effort to go in and get rid of people. It was an effort to reorganize. And now, if you get rid of a bureau you're not going to use anymore, obviously you don't need those positions anymore. And it was very small. I mean, it was 1,300 people out of 70 or 50 or 60,000. I read these reports about how we've gutted American diplomacy. It's really silly. But here's the fundamental nature of it. It took too long to get things done. We had too many bureaus, too many offices. They were unaligned with each other. I get these decision memos, and these decision memos have to be cleared by these different desks, these different offices. Some of them had 30 or 40 boxes. 30 or 40 people had to clear it before it even got to me, and that's why it takes the State Department so long to function. So what we're changing on that is, people can certainly give their opinion. If they don't agree with the decision or they have concerns about it, that can be noted. But ultimately, I need to get that decision memo to my desk so we can take action. We can't wait 6 weeks.
Pisco's clearly a liberal, obviously not a socialist and friendly. Any reason not to talk to him and clarify things? I'll do that when we get through all the news. I got 2 more sections. We'll talk about that after.
6 months to do things. It renders us irrelevant, especially in a world that moves so fast.
Let me ask you about Russia. The president gave Russia 50 days to strike a peace deal or face possibly 100% tariffs. Where do you think Putin is on this? Do you think this is an effective strategy, and what do you expect to see happen?
First of all, I think everybody should be very happy that the American president, the president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, is focused on peace. There's nothing he wants more than to be a part of peace agreements, stopping wars, preventing wars, ending wars. It's not his war. He didn't start this war. It didn't happen. It never would have happened had he been president, but it did. He inherits it, and he's done everything possible to bring it to an end. I think he's growing increasingly frustrated that despite having very good interactions with Vladimir Putin and phone calls, it never leads to anything. So the time has come for some action here, and I think the president has made that abundantly clear. He's
crazy. I thought it would be that easy, that he could just make a phone call and stop it all, huh?
losing his patience. He's losing his willingness to continue to wait for the Russian side to do something here to bring an end to this war. That wasn't his war, but he wants to see it come to an end. Since January of this year, over 100,000 Russian soldiers, just on the Russian side, have been killed. It's a bloody conflict with a lot of death and destruction. A lot of this engagement has been really about playing for time and sort of delay tactics to make it look like they're interested in peace, but not really serious about it. He's not going to fall into that trap of being pulled into endless talks about talks. And I think he picks up a lot of that from his just understanding of human nature and human behavior, having dealt with some of the most cutthroat people in business for 40, 50 years.
The negotiator in chief.
Yeah, and he enjoys that part of the job.
He does.
He does. He enjoys that part of the job. And I think it's very useful for us because ultimately,
the negotiator in chief.
We know we have the ultimate closer in the administration with our president, and our job is to put these deals together, bring them usually to the 95% range of agreement, and then he comes in at the end and closes it. And whether that's on trade or hopefully on peace, that's the role he's played, and it's a very powerful role. That last 5%, those last few yards, are always the hardest one in any negotiation.
Well, so many people talk about the fact that China is conspiring with Russia and Iran. How does the U.S. deal with that and a potential alliance between those three?
Everybody knows, it's not a secret, that China is giving Russia as much aid as they can get away with without being discovered. The Europeans have caught on to this. There's no way that Putin could have sustained this war without Chinese support, particularly buying his oil. And I think the Chinese have an incentive to see this war go on. They think that the longer this war goes on, it'll distract us and prevent us from focusing on other parts of the world that they're interested in. With Iran, the Chinese also buy a lot of their sanctioned oil and have provided them some defense articles in the past. I think everyone, China, Russia, others, even North Korea, have become a little bit more cautious about supporting Iran, especially after our B-2s flew halfway around the world and conducted an operation and left before anyone found out about it. So I think that what's happened now is a lot of these countries are being, in the middle of that war when Iran turned to Russia, turned to China, turned to some of their proxies, they all kind of took a pass and said, we don't want to get involved in this thing. It sort of reminded the world that we have a strong president and the most extraordinary military capabilities in the world. No one has the things we have in our defense, whether it's our airplanes, our missiles, our bombs that we use, and our guided munitions. A lot of people have forgotten that. President Trump reminded him.
You also recently met with the Chinese foreign minister. Do you feel like there are still areas where we could see cooperation between the U.S. and China? And what came out of that meeting overall?
Yeah, look, the United States and China are the two most powerful and important countries in the world, so we have to have relations. We have to be able to talk to them, and we have to, if possible, find areas of cooperation. We're going to have some irritants. There's no doubt about it. I think just talking about the trade perspective, just understand, everybody should understand this. For 30 years, the Chinese have basically carried out this economic scheme or operation where they could sell anything they want into the United States. Every Chinese company, unfettered access to the U.S. market, the most important consumer market in the world. But the Chinese market is completely closed. So their market is closed, and their companies are protected inside of China, but then they want the right to be able to sell us anything they want and export anything they want. And it's not just been going on for a year or 2 years, it's been going on for 3 decades. President Trump's been talking about this for 20 years. This is not some new thing he discovered the day after he...
Why didn't he do anything about it in his first term then? Why, stop talking about it and fucking do something. Oh, all he's doing is blowing up our relationship with every single fucking country on the planet. I hate how these guys get credit for identifying theoretical problems and then never actually doing anything substantial about any of them. It's so fucking annoying. Boring. This is boring. He's boring. Defense Secretary Hegseth's use of polygraph tests to hunt for people leaking info to the news media was stopped at the direction of the White House after a senior advisor to Hegseth raised alarm to senior White House officials. People familiar with the matter say, nice, gotta find those leakers. Aid trucks moved from Egypt to Gaza after Israel said it began airdrops.
As I just talked about with the House Speaker, the world is just watching this humanitarian crisis unfold. President Trump said he told Prime Minister Netanyahu to, quote, finish the job this week. I know that you are in touch with President Trump. You're in touch with Israeli officials. What are you anticipating is going to happen next? What does finish the job mean, Senator?
Well, I talked to Cindy McCain last night. Here's some good news for the people in Gaza. Humanitarian quarters are now going to be open. Israel's going to work with the UN, the World Food Program, to get some food into these people who need it. But I think what the topic we're talking about today is a change in strategy. I think President Trump has come to believe, and I certainly come to believe, there's no way you're going to negotiate an end to this war with Hamas. Hamas is a terrorist organization who is chartered to destroy the state of Israel. They're religious Nazis. They hold Israeli hostages. I think Israel's come to conclude that they can't achieve a goal of ending the war with Hamas that would be satisfactory to the safety of Israel.
Are you just now figuring this out?
They're going to do in Gaza what we did in Tokyo and Berlin. Take the place by force, then start over again, presenting a better future for the Palestinians, hopefully having the Arabs take over the West Bank and Gaza. But I think going forward, Christian, you're going to see a change in tactics, a full military effort by Israel to take Gaza down like we did in Tokyo and Berlin.
Wait, what does that mean? What? Is there even anything left to bomb there, I guess? What?
Tactics, a full military effort by Israel to take Gaza down like we did in Tokyo and Berlin.
Senator, bottom line, does that mean the hostages are not going to be coming back alive if Israel were to move forward with what you're effectively saying?
I hope not. I think there are people maybe in the Hamas organization that would accept safe passage if they release the hostages. If I were Israel, I'd make that offer to Hamas fighters. You can leave safely. We want our hostages back. But here's the problem Israel has. Yeah. They're losing soldiers 4 and 5 a week. I hope and pray the hostages are
4 and 5 a week. Oh no, 4 and 5 a week.
We'll come back. Hamas could end this tomorrow by laying down their weapons and releasing the hostages. There is no future for the Palestinian people as long as Hamas is around. So all I can say is that you're going to see, I think in the next days and weeks, a military effort to destroy Hamas akin to what we did in Tokyo and Berlin to destroy the Nazis and the Japanese.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on...
Does he know what that means?
Both Cambodia and Thailand reached a common understanding as follows. 1. An immediate and unconditional ceasefire with effect from 24 hours local time, midnight, on 28th July 2025, tonight. This is a vital first step towards de-escalation and the restoration of peace and security. Second,
thank God Donald Trump saved us.
To convene an informal meeting of regional commanders, Regional Military 1 and 2 on the Thai side, and Regional Military 4 and 5 on the Cambodian side at 7 hours on 29th July 2025, which means tomorrow morning.
Clapper.
Now, okay, is shit gonna happen? The answer is probably fucking not, right? It's the same song and dance. Yes, I don't want to hear about how bad the thing is that you heard about behind closed doors that you can't talk about. I want to hear about the thing that you heard about behind closed doors, and I want the people that are doing it to go to jail. Like, again, I think they have burned through all of their goodwill and all of people's faith because of the delays on the Epstein files and the way Trump has acted regarding the Epstein files. Again, Trump did not champion releasing the Epstein files, but he appointed multiple people, including his own vice president, to come on and talk about the Epstein files. So yeah, that's it. I guess, I just don't want to hear that or see that bullshit. I think it's very fucking annoying, man. And so yeah, there it is. They've been in office less than 6 months. Well, how long is it going to take? They've only got 4 years. And so yeah, they've got to push it pretty fast. Did you sign an NDA? Just fucking talk. The song and dance is bullshit. I'm sick of it. Yeah.
Hey, so the incels are at it again.
That's right. And we're going to keep at it. We're going to keep at it. And you can cry, you can bitch, and you can get mad and everything like that. It's totally okay. But at the end of the day, it's still going to keep happening, man. It's still going to keep happening, and people aren't going to give a fuck. And so, again, you have, and this is what got leaked, by the way. This is what got leaked right here. Yep. I knew it. I fucking knew it, bro. Yep, there it is. Holy brother, that's right. I'm just saying, right? I mean, that's just what it is. And so I don't know why somebody dressed themselves up like this, but I guess people don't know why I dressed myself up like this either way. But yeah, it was a major, major hose mad situation yesterday. You saw a lot of people getting mad about the T. Let me see here. T app. Are there any more posts about this? Any new information about this? I mean, these obviously are the people that, you know, I'm not going to go through the photos, right? But Whorefinder, well, they're, oh, God, I almost had a really good one. But we'll try to avoid those. And anyway, so yeah.
Oh, see, look, I think he's still moderating his humor because of me, because he knows I'm watching.
These are the women calling you a loser, incel, rapist. That's right. Never take these people seriously at all. And yeah, 5'3", 190 pounds. There you go.
This is a hose mad situation, though. That T-app is crazy. What is the T-app? It's basically a place where if a woman has a date with a guy and the guy doesn't return her phone call or it goes bad, she can basically just go on some app and tell all the other women that he's a fucking rapist so that they can freak the fuck out about him. Jesus. Meet the Palestine Power Rangers. Oh my God. The sad thing is the person who drew this must be like 30 plus years old to have, like, this is like the old Green Ranger armor, right? 40 years old? Holy shit. Who drew, is this real or is this a meme? What the fuck? Stop. Why would you draw somebody like that? I can't tell if it's a troll or not. Jesus Christ, why would you do this? I also like how, yeah, they avoided making the Black Ranger the black guy, but this guy right here, the Black Ranger, I don't even know who this is supposed to be. But he kind of looks he looks more like Billy the Blue Ranger than, I don't know why. Because didn't he have like glasses and he was like a brown-haired nerdy guy? Am I making this up?
Actor David Yo.
Like. But he couldn't make the black guy the Black Ranger?
Who played the original Blue Ranger.
Oh, shit. Whatever. Okay. That's Noah Samson? Gotcha. Lol overruled is being called out by some in Hasan's community for allegedly being inappropriate to and about women. He had recently privated his Twitter, stating he's not ready to talk about it all yet and currently in the midst of an intensive outpatient therapy program. Not ready to talk about it yet, but there are things I want to talk about. I've been mulling over how to even do it or if I should in public. I am, however, in the midst of an intensive outpatient therapy program, which is good. Don't know when I'll be back. For what? The girls are saying lol overruled as a sex pest and serial abuser. White cis men are fucking trash. Calling out bigotry, misogyny, anti-blackness, ableism, etc. will never hurt any movement or revolution worth fighting for. What did he even do? Holy shit. I got to a point where I was fucking so many people from behind in my bed. Oh, is this him? Is this the guy? I had an out-of-body experience and I directly connected with Leonardo DiCaprio wearing his sound-canceling headphones as he bangs, and I finally understood. Perpetually alone, Peter Pan, never grow up. Fucking one of the hottest women you've ever seen in your life and feeling nothing. Have almost become a big enough person to let go of something a dickhead on here who some of you like and who I tolerate said to me 5 years ago. Pretty cool of me. Mutuals have begun blocking me over this. Sad to see people siding with a predator. How is he a predator? What did he do? Destiny, he's called you out before, Hasan Orbiter? Oh, well then he is a rapist. Fuck him. Got him! Unfortunately, I've seen video evidence of him being a sex pest. He's on a video of himself jacking off in the bath to a sex worker friend he was DMing on Twitter. Oh my God. Wait, what is that? What happened? Or what did he do? Where can I read more? He's locked his account, and if you go through tweets made to his handle, it seems like his followers keep replying to a tweet he made that's likely said he's going offline. I don't really read about it, but I know people started cutting him off for his problematic behavior towards women. A victim comes out. Marina comes out and confirms one of her past tweets was about lol overruled. A content creator threatened me saying if they ever hurt me, I would be powerless because more people like them and it would be so easy to call me a liar and ruin my life. This is about lol overruled. I feel like, well, what is the context to this tweet? Or does she post logs or something? Or the content creator in the middle of mutual flirting said, I didn't respond with nudes fast enough, so they went to my OnlyFans instead after making it a point that they didn't sub out of respect. Blocked now because of the fuck. And he's a scumbag who used vanish mode on Instagram, so all those convos are gone. A scumbag? Because you, what the fuck? The girls are saying lol overrated is a sex position. Given the way he talks about systemic misogyny, I believe them. He's been a bigot for years, and recently he joined in on the big booty Latina jokes. He deleted that tweet only because he was catching heat. He recently posted he was checking into an intensive outpatient for mental health issues, so I wonder if this is related. I mean, he's been dealing with major depression, hasn't he? Even when Hasan called him after Zoran 1, he was at home alone and depressed. Oh shit, was that an out? Can I say I have depression and autism so nobody can be mean to me about anything? I don't see anyone coming forward, just someone saying someone else said he did something, but I'm still not clear what. There are a few comments in the thread of people's direct experience. One is less so, as she said her friend showed her an unsolicited jerk-off video he sent, and then another tweet, which has now been deleted, is from a woman saying she posted a pic in his merch and he sent her dick pics and asked for her STD results to see if she's clean enough. What is the... Are there any logs at all?
Alex Lolo, then that's not drama. That's like straightforward creep shit.
What did he even, did he do anything? What even happened?
Okay, if that's what you guys are referencing as drama, you're a psycho. That's not drama at all. I mean, this dude apparently was all up and down being a fucking pest, and it's completely unacceptable. Yeah, and you guys are being fucking ridiculous if you think that this is just drama. That's not just drama, dude. That's like, that is, yeah. It's incredibly disappointing. It's not something that I was obviously privy to. I was completely oblivious to whatever the fuck was going on, and it's a betrayal of my trust. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Apparently, and I don't know the full details of what's going on, but I heard like bits and pieces about him like potentially being abusive. And
like how in DM? What was going on here?
And I didn't, like, I don't.
Destiny, sex work communities on Twitter / online are left progressive so far. They're horseshoeing into being retarded Puritans. I'm aware of this. It actually sucks because like 5-ish years ago, like sex workers were generally like pretty chill people to chat with online, but something happened. I noticed this around like the Merrick time, and then like kind of just like looking, well, like kind of following some of the talk from these communities online. There's a lot of now, if you're talking to people who are like politically active and sex workers or OnlyFans, like you're almost guaranteed to get some insane like socialist or ultra progressive shit. Like there's like, I don't know when that happened completely or what the change was, but yeah, holy fuck, sorry.
I didn't know enough about what was going on, but it was enough for me to like, you know, sever ties. And then past that point now, there's apparently a bunch of people that he was literally in the DMs of all up and down Twitter, like leftist Twitter accounts, public defenders, and even
public defenders,
even women in this community. Luckily, we have a pretty awesome community of adult women who can take care of themselves. But it seems like he was just sending unsolicited DMs and being creepy and pushy.
Unsolicited DMs? Does he mean dick pics? Or like, were they really? Or what? Until I see logs, I wouldn't believe it.
And a pest overall. Yeah, it's obviously completely unacceptable.
But I also cheer for these communities to destroy themselves. So. Wait, is this? Did we click this one? A victim comes out. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. So I'm going to be very honest, but part of the reason I never got too loud about Lolo is because he was friends with Hasan. Why do they always censor the names again? Is it so people can't find it on Twitter? I'm so confused why people do this. It's such an annoying fucking thing in tweets. It's because he was friends with Hasan, who got very mad about me commenting on the Harry Potter game and did not tell people. It was just me trying to peddle my OnlyFans. Like, once again, no one likes sex workers, side frowny face. Sex workers run the whisper networks, but everyone online is actively hostile to us all the time. So the violence and sexual harassment we face is considered an acceptable amount of abuse to justify our existence as sexual punching bags for evil men, and we need to be saved. So I'm happy he cut that man off publicly. It's the right thing to do. And now I can watch the stream in peace. But everyone here needs to do a better job about organizing with the online sex worker community, who have a lot of experience navigating these types of abusers. There were so many red flags immediately, and it was mostly centered around me as a sex worker or being powerless. So I knew if I met up with him and was left alone, he would have crossed my boundaries physically. You cannot pay me any amount of money to be alone with. What is this? Wait, so he did something in DMs, and you know that if you show up like in real life, he would rape you? Are we doing like, are we canceling people for future hypothetical rapes now? What? The way he spoke to me scared me. It would make me feel physically sick because my stomach would hurt so bad, knowing the conversation would be him focusing on my sadness to flip the convo immediately to get him off. He's manipulative and a genuine threat in my pro opinion. If you're such a pro, why didn't you, I don't know, stop talking to him? What? This is why online sex work needs a socialist labor party to join that will help us decriminalize and end stigma around sex work so no one, working or civilian, is hurt by the abuse of men who seek us out using politics to sexually manipulate vulnerable creators. What the fuck? What are we talking about here? What? How would socialism help? How would this even help at all? What? I don't understand what it would even do. What is, they didn't have the technology for it to send a fucking email?
Guys, I'll be real. I think somebody needs to jerk Destiny off. I do. I think somebody needs to trigger Destiny's prostate and finally let this man come. Because bro is definitely having some severe semen cramps right now. He is. Stop making.
Not to be like cringy or weird or whatever, but like, well, never mind. Okay.
Making this guy jerk off is somebody else fucking his girlfriend, okay? Somebody give this guy an orgasm. He needs it, man. The semen cramps are getting to him, man. Let my man Destiny off the cuck chair. Somebody trigger this man's prostate. This guy needs to relax, man. He does. So hopefully his wife's boyfriend allows somebody to do that.
Fuck, it's so cringe. I can't. Whatever. Okay. If that's what you think, buddy, you know, go for it. Okay. Where are we at? One-liners. Chinese media tested ADAS in various scenarios, including highways and night driving. Tesla's vision-based system outperformed emerging Chinese brands like Huawei and Xiaomi, as well as traditional automakers. Even with LiDAR competitors, ADAS performance lags behind Tesla. Wow. Don't know, don't care. 1.5 hour video of tests, turn on captions.
那这些车会表现得更好吗？
That's crazy, chat.
Jeans are past.
What? So why is... I was eye-rolling everyone saying this is weird master race shit until I unmuted this. What the fuck?
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My jeans are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very Canes.
Fuck. Okay, I hadn't heard the audio from this. Okay, that is a little bit weird. I seriously doubt American Eagle is trying to intentionally do Nazi ads, though. And I doubt that she's a Nazi, but that is kind of a weird... It's a reference to an old ad. Okay, well, I've never heard it before, but okay. I can't believe these guns are still going off. Bro. Not good. Not good. Also, I don't understand. SIG is such like a big brand. Why can they not like just fix this issue? Why can't I just make this not happen? Hello?
Kurt Warner is a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame's class of 2017.
Did you see the military guy killed? Yeah, like a week ago.
Force Wing has ordered its personnel to lock up their pistols. They are pausing the use of M18 handguns following the death of an airman at a Wyoming base.
King 5 investigator Chris Ingalls has reported extensively on this gun in his series Shooting from the Hip. Chris is here now with the latest. Chris?
Yeah, Greg and Jessica, there's a lot happening this week here in Washington and across the country related to our series, Shooting from the Hip. Critics say the 6-hour M18 handgun and its civilian variant, the P320, can fire on their own. And tonight we start with questions about whether that might have cost a young service member his life. They fight our battles overseas. We don't expect them to die suddenly here at home. But that's what happened on Warren Air Base in Wyoming this Sunday. 21-year-old Airman Braden Levin died of a gunshot wound. In a press release today, Air Force Global Strike Command
How
said...
unbelievably unlucky. I think a guy like set a gun on the table in a holster and it went off and happened to hit this guy in the fucking chest.
The incident involved a firearm discharge that is currently under investigation. But most telling was this directive earlier in the week. All personnel in Air Force Global Strike Command will pause the use of the M18 for safety investigations. So far, the ban isn't Air Force wide. It affects only Global Strike Command, responsible for the nation's nuclear weapons. Its personnel will carry M4 rifles when needed. The civilian version of 6 Hour's M18 is the P320 handgun, the only difference being the P320 does not have an external safety switch. In March, Washington's Criminal Justice Training Commission, which trains all police recruits in the state, banned the P320 after reports of uncommanded discharges here in Washington and across the country. A common police weapon, some of these incidents were captured on video.
So we will no longer have that firearm on our campus. It could hurt someone, it could kill someone, and we are very concerned about keeping our officers and our instructors safe.
Now, the guns manufacturer, Sig Sauer, has turned both barrels on the Academy's ban. Last month, Sig quietly filed this lawsuit in Thurston County Court, seeking an order that reverses the ban, and even bars the Training Academy's executive director from making public statements about the P320.
I've carried several types of guns. I know how to handle guns. I did not do this to myself. This gun malfunctioned and it fired while still in the holster.
Sig Sauer faces legal troubles of its own, the latest coming from a veteran Houston police officer who today sued the gunmaker, saying his P320 fired from the holster into his leg. This interview was supplied by his Texas law firm, Hardin & Associates.
When I was laying in the driver's seat of my police car, bleeding, they were putting tourniquets on me, and I think I said something like, this is the way I'm going to get shot.
He couldn't believe he was shot by his own gun. In a Facebook post, Sig Sauer gives its sympathies to the service members at Warren and the Airman Levin's family and said it's offered its assistance to the Air Force to investigate whatever happened.
The P320, it ends today, March 7th, 2025, like 4 months ago. In the decade since its introduction, the P320 has undergone the most rigorous testing and evaluation of any firearm by military and law enforcement agencies around the world. It consistently delivers a proven record of performance and reliability through state-of-the-art engineering and documented quality control at every stage of its production. Claims that unintended discharges are anything more than negligent handling and or manufactured lies to support an anti-gun, anti-SIG agenda are false. Furthermore, lawsuits claiming that the P320 is capable of firing without the trigger being pulled have been dismissed in courtrooms around the country. In addition, multiple plaintiffs, so-called experts, have conceded it is not possible for the P320 to discharge unless the trigger is fully actuated.
The slide somewhere, will it go off again? Will it put some input into the slide somewhere? Will it go off again? Will it release? Let's see. That's 3 in a row. Let me take the screw out. Number 4. Let's try it again. Let me show you. Fully functioning striker safety. All right. Should we do it with the magazine again? Let's put the magazine back in, and then we'll try the last one with the magazine out. Handy dandy trigger input tool. We are going to try to, dang, sorry about that. I'm trying to get over a sinus thing and a cough. We're going to try to simulate all right, here we go. Again, we are roughly, as we saw on the tabletop, I'm guessing we're roughly a millimeter to less than a millimeter of engagement.
So what is the point of, like, he's got this screw in here? Why is that? What is he trying to simulate with this?
On that trigger, and let's see if we can get it to go off again. That was 4.
Pressure on the trigger, a light trigger pressure. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Put some input.
Well.
Put some input as we saw.
I remember we watched some YouTube video where they were going to do drop tests with it, and like they dropped it on the very first time it like went off. Okay, I'm dumb. Is this bad then? I assume most guns don't do that. Yes, it's very, very, very bad. You shouldn't have a gun going off unless the trigger is fully actuated, right?
Race realism.
Okay.
To a position where, like, if...
All right. I've decided that I'm going to be more active in this war now, because fuck it, because everybody else is. Okay, just so you understand the pressures that are at work here. Okay, so the Gistical Kiwi Farms army has like sided up in this to defend Hasan and attack my takes on this. I think so far, Hutch, it's Hutch, Josiah, hold on. I think Hutch, Josiah, and Kyla so far have had their doxes spammed because of the side, quote unquote, that they're taking on this. And then people are actively seeking other doxes for people near here. And I don't know if people give a fuck about getting doxed or not. Apparently, it's just nobody cares anymore about this stuff. But this is the, and then Queeman and Gistical are scheming in their Discord servers at night for how to like lend support to one side of this. But this is the, this is like the active and ongoing campaign, I guess, behind the scenes for this stuff. We'll see where Hasan weighs in on this for.
Fucking right-wing fascist piece of shit that's doing mass deportations of migrants while simultaneously destroying the global trade design that America actually invented that is greatly beneficial for America.
Is it Juice Talker's community doing the doxing? It never happens in his servers directly, no. But there's a lot of interflow between his community and the one that does do the active doxing.
America in general, while also simultaneously allowing the Israeli genocide to continue.
Do you know what ticked them off? Yes. So the fact that if anybody mentions me and they don't mention me as being like a rapist or whatever, then what they do on their streams is they constantly go over like conversations that anybody's having, and then they try to like reset the record on. Oh, they're also trying to dox August as well to make sure that people understand that, like, hold on, guys, you got to remember, like, Destiny's admitted to doing all of this stuff, and he's a fucking he's violated all these people's consent. Fuck, I had a clip on this, but I need to start saving these better.
That guy might be a little bit worse than a fucking Twitch streamer that believes in.
Wait, he's gonna do the thing. Believes in, like, what, free healthcare and higher minimum wage? Is that the meme that he always says?
being steadfast in his approach to anti-war and wants the American government to
Hasan,
fucking
can you
better
even be
serve.
the president?
Okay, anti-war, I guess. Okay.
I could, yes. I was born here.
No, you're not unk enough yet.
That's true, but
that's what I was getting at. I wasn't talking about geography.
Well,
I was
I'm
talking
34.
about
I got one more year. I got one more year.
Conversation's moot anyway.
Yeah.
Wait a year. Yeah, that's my message to these perverts in general. Wait a year.
Yeah.
I think it's really fucked up. This is what Northern Lion.
Are we okay? Okay.
Does now.
Dude, come on! Don't come after my goat like that. Northern Lion would never.
He would never. He's great.
This man is tarnishing the. Hasan is worse. This whole discourse is making me want to kill myself.
Wow, he's actively reading my tweets on stream now. Uh-oh. Okay.
We agree on that.
I like that his mods constantly shit on him. You suck right now. That's what one of his mods said.
Pick your poison.
Oh, he's watching Hutch read my tweet. Sorry, Jesus. We're 3 layers deep.
Like Hutch, we'd be in camps. Hutch, we'd be in camps under Hasan. This is such a dumb hypothetical.
Pick your poison.
Yeah, there's people are.
Queeman will also quote tweet and spam chat messages to people like Pisco to suck up and try and get in their good graces to make an alliance. Yes. And they also, Justical has an account that he's put in Pisco's chat as well to try to stir shit up as well. It's a whole ass like fucking coordinated thing. They're pretty. They try their best.
He's literally already sending people.
Yeah, that's right. I would be sending Hutch to the camps, I guess.
And Pisco doesn't promote it. What is this loose association? I've never said that Pisco promotes it. I don't think that Pisco or them, I don't think any of them are part of this network of people that are doing it. I'm just making you aware of the things that are working in the background. I don't think I've even implied that Pisco, Econoboy, or whatever support that. I don't think they support that in any way, size, shape, or form. But it's just these are the people that are like working in the background to try to like make all the drama and push everything in a certain direction.
Right-wing personality latching onto identity as a target rather than ideology is such a good point. Zizek would like that.
How is Jizical's community so powerful? Isn't it a super small community? It's not really powerful. It's that if you have a group of like 10 or 15 people who are really dedicated in small edge spaces where, especially if stuff is already like in a certain direction, you just try really, really, really hard to control the narrative on everything. And then what they do in the meantime is if you ever push back against it or mention it, then they just try to like gaslight you and say like, oh, you're crazy. Like we don't have anything involved in any of this. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's it. I am a far more interesting target than to actually like discuss the issues on the boundaries of policy, on the boundaries of impact of policy, on what it would look like if you were to play out a legislative agenda that like puts workers.
Why even mention them? Because people like Hasan, like all the way at the top, are amplifying everything that comes from these people. So I'll just be more blatant about pointing it out from now on. Because when I bring this stuff up like very sparingly, then I just sound like I'm schizo posting. But when people like Hasan are now actively platforming people like that and Banana, who are also like amplifiers of all this stuff, I think I kind of have to call it out. So I will call it out when I see it. Did you see Queeman's retarded defense of Hasan's re-education camps? Yes, Queeman and Justical again are like full on like 100% like it's like raccooning, like scheming in the background, trying to like stir shit and cause drama and push people in a certain way. Fuck, I'm trying to find this clip somebody sent me of Justical's like watching like the 4 of the Live and Learn guys talk, and he's like, "Oh, do these guys not remember that Destiny fully admitted under testimony that he's guilty of all the crimes?" And I'm like, what? What is this? Re-education, as Hasan explains in the Leftovers clip, is referring to de-radicalization programs for violent offenders and terrorists who commit ideological crimes. Something many Euro countries already do. Very dishonestly portrayed clip. You should focus on just white. What? I'm sorry. Excuse me. What? Quimman is your number 2 hate watcher. Yeah, and it's so funny too because he was such a pussy cuck. Every time we were in a call together, he wouldn't say anything to me at all. But I realize now why. It's because remember the way that the propaganda works is it can never be directly confronted. You always have to have your own little environment in the background where you can say shit unobstructed, or you have to find the weakest people. You have to find the weakest people to fight with because if you have to actually confront the insane shit you're saying, you always look like a retard. Which is why every single call that I was ever in Quimman with, he never said anything to me at all. I've been going through a claim of culpability at the start, just like yours. A homeowner told me about a problem they have after some work I did on their house. They're using my text of "I'm sorry" as proof I'm 100% at fault based. Pisco defended the Hasan re-education camp clip in my call-in saying it's not really what Hasan said, quoting a post put on his subreddit. Wait, Zip, give me the timestamp it, because that's the drama we're doing right now. And then I'll explain, I guess, the Econo Boy stuff. That post was made by a snarker, Hasan, and Mr. Girl poster, I think. Wait, link, where are my links? I need drama researchers next. You shouldn't trust DGG with how to interpret Hasan's ideology. Re-education camps as an example.
Sukkot
with Donald Trump.
Part 1, re-education and Hasan's ideological beliefs. On yesterday's stream, someone named Zip called in and claimed that Hasan wants re-education camps and referred to his conversation with Ethan Klein about them. Hasan does not believe in having re-education camps, and this interpretation that he does is clearly bad faith when you listen to Hasan's fleshed out thoughts. Here are the clips.
With Donald Trump on things.
Okay, so you're saying, for example, when he's against the deportations to Sukkot, it's because of why?
Because he doesn't like Donald Trump and because he hates minorities or for whatever reason. But basically, I know what you're getting at. But Hasan has also explicitly said that he would be in favor of re-education camps in his ideal society or whatever in that one conversation with Ethan Klein. I don't know if you've seen that clip, but there's a lot of stuff there that if you
that's bad.
Look at Hasan, which is bad.
I think Kirk would, but Kirk right now is defending the stuff that's actually happening, and I think Kirk would also support re-education camps if Trump instituted it. So
correct.
I
don't disagree.
But I think that
there's a difference here. Charlie Kirk, I don't think would do re-education camps on his own. I think he'd probably support Donald Trump, literally whatever the fuck Donald Trump did, because Charlie Kirk is Donald Trump's #1 nut hugger. But Hasan would implement re-education camps all on his own. But
Kirk would also support a bunch of other fucked up shit that Hasan wouldn't.
Well, yeah, but then Hasan would also support a bunch of fucked up shit that Kirk wouldn't. So I don't know what.
Yes, but not because of where they came from. Hasan would support stuff that Charlie Kirk would not abide by.
Oh,
and
okay.
so if the will of the people is to go back to do more of a social democracy, is that something that a socialist country should move towards, or should there be resistance in the government to keep socialism?
I think the resistance should be akin to how capitalist governments have resisted historically any kind of socialist movement, not to that same degree of violence, but I think that yes.
So just to break down what's being said here, Ethan Klein is saying, also this is why I'll come down on Econo Boy later as well, who's I think tweets were fucking insane. But what would happen if you had a social democracy or whatever the fuck socialist government you had, and there was a political party that was coming up that was, a capitalist or liberal political party? And Hasan says they should be resisted the same way that capitalist countries resist socialism. When Hasan says that, he's not talking about what is actually happening today, which is where people are like, ooh, boo socialism. In his mind, all of socialism is failing because of CIA ops all over the world that is destroying socialist governments and secretly murdering. It's like McCarthyism plus the Cold War era CIA. That's what Hasan thinks the CIA is doing now, and that's what he kind of wants his socialist governments to do, although not quite as bad, he says.
There'd be resistance in the government to keep socialism.
I think the resistance should be akin to how capitalist governments have resisted historically any kind of socialist movement, not to that same degree of violence, but I think that, yes, the solution to that would always be education and offering more.
Remember, like, the solution to enemy political parties is education. We have to educate them, meaning that there is no legitimate disagreement between socialism or liberalism / capitalism. It's just re-education. That's it. With some degree of violence, but not as bad, I guess, as the CIA was in the Cold War.
Re-education?
Re-education, certainly, yeah.
Like, Ethan even uses the kind of coded dog whistle word or whatever, like re-education camps. And Hasan just owns it immediately. He knows what these are, right? He must know the meme, right? The re-education camp meme. And Hasan has no problem saying, yeah.
Re-education, certainly, yeah. I know that that's like a trigger
put them in
word.
Camps.
No, not like that. I know there's a trigger word because everyone goes, "Oh, re-education." What do you mean, like?
Okay, hold on. Not in camps. Okay, whoa, camps is too far.
Immediately, people think like, "Are you
China
talking
does
about
that.
Are you talking about like resident schools? Are you talking about the
China has
Xinjiang?" Yeah,
re-education
100%. They
camps.
do. They do it. They did it in Xinjiang,
Which
which I
isn't
think
good,
was,
right?
No, I don't agree with that. Yeah, I don't think it was good. This is something I have openly criticized as well. Like that's not good. The massive surveillance apparatus that they built in Xinjiang is not good.
So what would be good about a socialist re-education camp for capitalists?
It wouldn't necessarily, I don't think it'd be camps. I mean,
like, I'm sorry, but that is an unhinged response. And if you can't see it, you are literally brain broken. I think Pisco, in trying so hard to be like not anti-Hasan, has like broken his brain on that response of like, oh, well, he said he wouldn't do, it wouldn't be quite like that. So like, that's not that bad, right? That is just an unbelievable, like I would never in my life imagine a leader of my country be like, would you put people in camps? Like, well, not like that. Like, that's an unbelievable response.
Camp for capitalists.
It wouldn't necessarily, I don't think it'd be camps. I mean, it depends on, it depends on crimes, right? Like, are people committing crimes at the behest of this? Because if there's a socialist state and someone is doing like white terror, let's say, or someone is doing South Korean style, purges of communists, which has happened historically in every country that America is aligned with, because they were anti-communist, where they've launched, military dictatorships, whether we recognize it or not, those things have happened, right? So in a situation like that, I think if there's any kind of like terrorism happening.
Sure, yeah.
Like, he speaks in vaguish terms here, but the obvious answer is, why would you need camps for people that are engaged in doing crimes? Don't we just put those people in prison? Like, what are we talking about here exactly? Right? Like, we already have places for people that commit violent crimes. It's called prison.
If there's violence, that's obvious.
I do think that there should be an enforcement mechanism, and in that enforcement mechanism, I think like rehabilitation, which would include re-education as well, would probably be a lot better than like, a prison structure where they have slavery, like in the United States of America.
That's an unhinged answer. I'm sorry. That is a crazy answer. Let's see. What does this poster say? He explicitly rejects the idea of re-education camps. Not really. He just reforms it into something that sounds a little bit more euphemistically acceptable. And the way Hasan explains it, he talks about education of socialism to be the same how a capitalist country would teach or indoctrinate for capitalism. But Hasan believes that we do indoctrination of capitalism through permanent McCarthyism, and that like the CIA and the FBI are the people killing Martin Luther King and killing all the socialist leaders and killing all of the socialists around the world. Remember, that's what they think. And the way he talks about re-education, he is talking about a rehabilitative process for people who commit violent crimes or ideologically motivated terrorism. Really? We already have prison for these people. What are you talking about? Commit violent crimes? For Hasan's alternative in practice, it already exists. There are several liberal democracies that run compulsory or voluntary de-radicalization programs for violent extremist offenders. Denmark, Norway, Finland, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada all have some form of voluntary de-radicalization programs for offenders who commit ideological violence, but that doesn't mean being a capitalist. What? That's the ideological crime that Hasan is talking about, is being a capitalist. The UK, Germany, Singapore, and France also all have similar programs, but make them mandatory in specific legal circumstances, so Hasan's idea of re-education can be interpreted to be somewhat radical, but it is something some capitalist countries already do now. That's like saying we should be able to execute people for wearing the color green. And they're like, well, some countries already have the death penalty for certain crimes. So, there's a lot of countries that already kind of sort of do this to some extent. Like they execute people for things, that they've already done, that they've decided they have the death penalty for. It's like, This timestamp in Peace Goes Wild. Hold on.
The will of the people is to go back.
Part 2, Destiny, Thought Crimes, and Hasan Derangement Syndrome. I'd actually looked this up a few days ago because I heard Not So Erudite talking about Hasan, and she repeated the same bad faith interpretation as well. So Kyla has been doxxed recently, and then these people are also like trying to tell people to call ICE and shit on her. She's also like a public enemy #1. Queeman and Gisticle also unhingedly attack her constantly, and sometimes Gisticle will host his BPD suicidal girlfriend, Cherry, onto his stream to also obsessively talk about Kyla. It's one of the reasons why Gisticle likes to manipulate and abuse Cherry is because he can bring her on stream to host all of her unhinged skinwalker, like insane attacks against Kyla as well. This is what compelled me to search this up, as I have also seen her having Hasan Derangement Syndrome. Then I felt compelled to make this post about DGG because after hearing this yesterday, I looked for more clips with ChatGPT. The prompt was something like, Hasan Piker is accused of advocating for re-education camps. Wait, what? I looked for more clips with ChatGPT. This prompt was something like, Hasan Piker is accused of advocating for re-education camps. Can you find me clips from doing this? The first 2 clips it gave me were literally Destiny clips of him going over this to point out the bad faith in the Destiny clip. Before Hasan even gave his answer, he's asking his chat for a clip of someone else talking about re-education. He then just asserts Hasan is lying, playing the clip of someone else talking about re-education camps and saying this is what Hasan actually wants.
The will of the people is to go back to do more of a social democracy. Is that something that a socialist country should move towards, or should there be resistance to the government to keep socialism?
I think the resistance should be akin to how capitalist governments have resisted historically any kind of socialist movement, not to the same degree of violence, but I think that yes, the solution to that would always be education and
re-education camps.
Bring more re-education.
Re-education, certainly, yeah.
Somebody give me the clip of that one loser. Like we would house our comrades in re-education camp. Somebody please give me the clip. Please give me. Oh my God, the guy. Oh fuck. Oh my God, what was his name? Who am I thinking of? Non-compete. Oh yeah. When he says that, oh my God, it was so fucking cringe and unhinged. The clip.
I know that's like a trigger word. No, not like that. I know that's
not the camps. Oh no.
Trigger word because everyone goes, oh, re-education. What do you mean? Like immediately people think like, are you talking about like resident schools? Are you talking about the Xinjiang? Yeah, 100% they do. They do it. They did it in Xinjiang.
Which is good, right?
No, I don't agree with that. Yeah, I don't think it was good. This is something I have openly criticized as well. Like that's not good. The massive surveillance apparatus they built in Xinjiang is not good.
So what would you do about a socialist re-education camp for capitalists?
It wouldn't necessarily. I don't think it'd be camps. I mean,
well, it wouldn't be camp. Oh my God, I don't hate him. I don't hate Hasan. What I hate are all of the mind-numbingly retarded fucking fans that can watch him squirm like this and not think that it's the most. You literally have you've got like the drunken Dayquil master over here, okay, Ethan, asking the most innocuous questions, and Hasan is acting like he's getting pressed in front of like a fucking Senate Judiciary Committee, and he's like under oath, and he's like committed like 50 million crimes, he's trying to hide from the United States.
True.
Like it's actually appalling.
True. It depends on crimes, right? Like are people committing crimes at the behest of this? Because if there's a socialist state and someone is doing like white terror, let's say, or someone is doing South Korean style, purges of communists, which has happened historically in every country that America.
Sorry, hold on. We just skipped so much shit. This is stupid. My synergy froze. Oh, this is. I like the implicit shout out to North Korea there as well. The unhinged South Korean style purge of communists. I like the mini shout out there.
But rather than
this is the clip. Hold on. This is what they want to do.
Abandoning the diagnosed or untreated mental illness will be substantially lower. It's a sad.
Oh my God, the non-compete guy. This is so fucking cringe. Holy shit.
fact that some violent or predatory individuals may never be capable of entering back into society. But rather than abandoning these people, we must do our best to give them the best possible chance at recovery and reform with the hopes of eventually re-entering society. In situations where re-entry does seem possible, care must be taken to monitor and assist these reformed individuals to preempt relapse or deception and to ensure that the patient successfully merges back into wider society. Reactionaries and counter-revolutionaries would be treated in a very similar manner. How we deal with former capitalists, fascists, and other such oppressors will be one of the great tests of anarchist society. Great care must be taken to treat them compassionately and humanely. giving them every opportunity to join our society as active and productive comrades, starting by treating them like any other comrade with special circumstances. Rather than ship deposed class enemies off to inhumane gulags or otherwise seek out revenge, they should be placed in reform centers where they are able to live in comfort and benefit from counseling and education, teaching them about the benefits of our new society. Some may never be willing to give up their abuses, and these die-hard oppressors would need to be secluded, perhaps indefinitely. But capitalists and reactionaries who demonstrate a willingness to re-enter society on equal footing should be given every opportunity to learn, grow, and eventually rejoin our community in peace.
Bro, somebody link this to Ethan. That's what
Jesus.
Hasan wants.
Well, would probably be.
This clip has someone basically saying people should be put into re-education camps for thought crimes that go against socialism. That is essentially what Hasan is saying. I don't know if people are not understanding that, but that is essentially what Hasan is saying. Yes.
A lot better than a prison structure where they have slavery like in the United States of America.
I'm still a little bit.
Hasan clearly does not advocate for that and rejects the idea of it as bad. He only advocated re-education as a tool for de-radicalization of ideologically violent criminals. That means capitalists, by the way, and terrorists, and to make it part of a rehabilitation process as a replacement for American-style prisons. Destiny even poisons the well for people who interpret differently what Hasan is saying by demeaning them as regarded fans. I have never once in my life ever watched Hasan as a form of entertainment. Like 99% of my consumption of Hasan has been through either Destiny or Sitch and Adam. And the other 1% has been fact-checking what other people say Hasan said. I don't really know that much more about Hasan's politics. In the past, I had looked up a few statements about Hasan that Dan Saltman said that also turned out to be mostly lies. Pisco has been calling out more lies that come from this community, mostly lies involving himself, and I hope he continues to do so in other ways that narratives are misconstrued from there. Part 3. Not so erudite caught the Hasan derangement syndrome. Terminal. This is going to be slightly discombobulated because I want to finish this and have spent too much time on it already. I wanted to include the clip of her making the claim to show that more people from DGG just believe whatever narrative Destiny spins up. And because she goes beyond just accusing him of advocating re-education camps, she doesn't just think that Hasan wants them, but wants them for political speech he doesn't like and claims he's similar to Trump in that way and would be just as authoritarian, if not more so, than the Orange Man.
Let me pull up your question so I can think about this and mull it over while we watch.
Destiny, these are all the KF/Shistical/Queeman biggest hits. Yep.
Do you think that Hasan is doing a disservice to the larger conversation by focusing on the content of the protest rather than how either plan to reassert free speech in light of the administration's prosecution? I mean, he's pandering, right? Like he's pandering to his, like, him ever at any time just being like, oh yeah, bemoaning Palestine, wah, 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 Palestine stuff. Anytime he talks about that, it's just going to be a W for his chat. It's such a aggressively popular position. So yeah, sort of. In general, I think it would have been nice to just hear from them more. And I think the issue is that I don't know how much Hasan cares about free speech. Like, if Hasan and his worldview was in a position of power, they would be equally, if not more, authoritarian than Trump. Like, we need to be very clear, at least according to what they have said about their political positions, right? Hasan has basically openly acknowledged that he would be putting people in re-education camps who's had certain positions. And so I don't know why I would expect Hasan to make more space for the attack on free speech when Hasan doesn't even care that much about free speech. He cares about speech he likes happening, and he's using the talking point of free speech because it's a really strong argument under any democracy-loving, liberal-esque person who values free speech. But his audience doesn't value free speech. I don't even think they would talk at length about free speech. What they value is like Palestinian protests being successful. That's what they care. They've never been free speech.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty true. Sorry, here, Jesus, it took me too long to find this. But this was just to go watching because his audience has to set the narrative that I'm like a fucking rapist. It's like the most important thing. So that when they go to infiltrate the other like political communities, they can always like keep the message. Like Justical will go over and watch any community that is peripheral to me so that his audience has like the, how do I make this not full screen? Fuck. So that his audience has like the correct talking points when they go over to try to like, mind fuck whatever neighboring political communities they're a part of.
My heart goes out to Pixie. I can't possibly imagine what this must feel like. My heart breaks for her. Sharing
I don't know why this is so fucking quiet, but fuck me.
images, explicit images and videos of somebody non-consensually is super fucked up. And if that's what happened, that should be just openly condemned. That's so fucked up.
So now we know for a fact that this did happen, right?
I don't even know what else there is to say on this. Again, I know there's...
Like, Destiny has testified that he's done this.
Like, this is just a lie. I've never in my life testified that that's happened, but he, again, it's just setting the narrative.
Understanding is there's litigation. I know one way...
Also, this, anytime you see these, like, DGG foot soldiers tag, these are clips that are ripped directly off of Kiwi Farms. They like to tag all their shit that way so that they can circle jerk whenever Gisticle or whoever else plays it on stream. But that you can see the inner flow of like how all of the information works, right? So something gets ripped off Kiwi Farms, goes to Gisticle stream, he talks about it, he gets Queema to talk about it, they try to get people like Nicholas Diorio to talk about it, and then they'll move over into communities where Pisco and Hutch and other people are to try to also have their war over there too. She also thinks Asmongold is better than Hasan as a content creator for young men. Not really important to my post, but shows the terminal nature of Hasan derangement syndrome.
As well.
I don't even know why this post is including Kyla, but okay.
I won't keep you because it sounds like you're sharp for time. Just one last thing I was going to mention too is a lot of times with young men, it's kind of like that episode of The Office where Michael Scott's on the date, and at first when he doesn't know he's on a date, he's acting normal, he's doing great, but as soon as he figures out he's on a blind date, he kind of like tanks it and stuff. Sometimes if the young men figure you're...
Why was it so easy for all of your orbiters to get so mind fucked? Is that just par for the course of streamers? Well, one, I mean, like Pixie's initial Substack looked really bad, and Pixie has a reputation for being like an innocent little angel. Like people don't realize that she's also kind of like a fucking like a sex demon or whatever in the background. So like the initial thing that came out from Pixie looked really extreme. My ability to respond to it was like pretty hamstrung initially because with an incoming lawsuit, I don't know what I should say or shouldn't say online, so I have to be careful with what I say. And then I also, I think I need to just stop caring about this. I'm like, this is part of me stopping to care about this. I try to be, I think, like excessively careful about not trying to influence people's opinions about things or not trying to like feel like I'm like a manipulator or controlling person. But I realize like all these people call me a manipulator or a controller anyways. Like despite the fact, for instance, that Gisticle is like dating a woman that he just had committed for attempted suicide 2 months ago and is still weaponizing her on stream to shitpost about me and Kyla is fucking insane. After he told her that he would be her Dr. K, that's just a wild, like I can't believe that anybody would take anything seriously that comes from this guy after that set of arrangements. Like that's wild to me. But I think rather than trying to rather than being so concerned about being perceived that way, I think I should just like actively cover it and go over it because these people all call me manipulators and everything anyway. So I'm not even manipulating. I should just like give my opinion on it more. But generally, I'll refrain from saying anything. I'm like, hey, listen, you know what? If you want to think whatever you want to think, go for it, or talk to people or verify shit. But Destiny, she's crushing it again. By the way, she just privated her Twitter. Not surprising at all. Gisticle in that community, I feel like probably has the highest chance of pushing her to actually kill herself, probably than any community she's been involved in. It's actually funny. I remember before in the past, probably like a year ago, having to, I wonder if I actually kind of fucked her up a little bit. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything because she would come to me for advice asking, do you feel like Gisticle and his community are all of these people just manipulating me? And when I would look at stuff, I would say, no, I don't think so. I think you're probably just in your head. I don't think that people are actively like trying to manipulate or do crazy shit. I think you do, because Cherry does like not hallucinate, but like reads into stuff too much sometimes. But maybe they were actually in the past. I'm not sure. Maybe I should have looked more closely at it. I don't know, but
trying to go for their vote, they'll kind of lose respect for you. So trying to handle this subject without even mentioning voting or getting them to jump to your side, but just coming from a genuine place of their concerns and, you know, what impacts them and how you can help probably would help out a lot too.
Yeah, I mean, I probably broadly agree. To be honest, I don't give a fuck how young men vote. I hate the Democrats at this point so fucking much. I don't think they've ever earned anyone's vote, and I don't think anyone should vote for people who don't care about them. So I agree that a lot of Democrats are approaching it, how do we get their vote? And if it came across in the video, like that's what I care about.
They're implicating Not So Erudite because that's part of the KF narrative. It's important to shit on Not So Erudite to keep that narrative going. Oh, that is true, actually. Because part of the narrative that Pixie kind of sort of pushed this as well because she's an actual fucking retarded child who's being manipulated by Lauren and who the fuck else knows whatever, tries to push this idea that Erudite is my Ghislaine Maxwell. which I don't even know where this comes from. Kyla and Aaron, Aaron who's escaped literally all culpability and responsibility for this for whatever fucking reason, whatever. But Kyla and Aaron were my two go-betweens for Pixie because Pixie removed me from Discord after she started crashing out because I wouldn't say, I guess give her $1 million or whatever the fuck. She removed me from Discord, and I'm uncomfortable talking to somebody who suicide baits constantly. And Pixie suicide baited to like 15 different people over the past, few months to get whatever she wants on things. And I just used Kyla basically as a go-between for talking. But like Kyla is sending her messages to Pixie and me, and Aaron has them. Like it's not like any of this was private. The weird obsession with trying to make her like a Ghislaine Maxwell is just like really fucking weird and strange, and it doesn't even make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense at all. Like why? Like do I? Even if I was like, let's assume that I'm a sexually active person that fucks people. Do I need somebody to like get women for it? Like it's just super cringe and retarded.
About that's unfortunate, and I'll be more cautious about that. I don't give a fuck how young men vote. I care about how they think. That's all I care about. And I think young men are thinking really, really poorly.
I agree. Well, thank you very much.
The last clip is to say if she doesn't care who young men vote for, she doesn't think you should vote for somebody you personally believe, then it's odd that because it's not, I don't even know why this person is. A counterexample and final thoughts. This is the only logger clip I can find of Hasan advocating for education. Okay, don't care. So somebody said this guy is a cross poster in all these other communities. Is that actually true? Posts. Oh, if you true. Click through the posts. Nice. Okay. So Pisco and then DGG Snark poster. DGG Snark. DGG Snark. Our Pisco. Me at work listening to Pisco eviscerate every Hasan hater who challenges him. The funny thing is like these people are the type are the type of people that would fucking hate Hasan in any other circumstance, but because of like where the battle lines are drawn in these online communities, they're like roped into being the biggest Hasan stands in the world, which is fucking hilarious to me. Oh, we've got Loner Box posting.
Dude, Econo Boy will.
Oh, oh my God, it's so blatant. Holy shit. Queeman glazes up Pisco, says he appreciates that he is principled and he should be raping more people, LOL, because probably because of the public statements to distance themselves from me. Remember, anytime somebody makes a public bad statement about me, anything related to that will always be praised by the site. And then if it's the opposite, then you're going to get people, like just to go watching that one VOD of trying to say, well, hold on, we all know that he's like a rapist, right?
Dude. Econo Boy's never gonna hit. Okay, this guy's never gonna be awesome. This guy could never go crazy. Pondering politics, like I'm sure his David Pacman-esque videos are fine. Pisco could be epic. Pisco could actually be epic, but he just for some reason he is not. There's no fire in him at the moment. Do you know what I mean? Like this guy should be out there raping people, and not like just going on Tim Pool and being like a fucking circus freak for Tim Pool. He should be out there, rape.
They love hyping up Pisco Lameo. For a while, I don't remember how many months ago this was, but I know that Blav is my #1 obsessive guy on Kiwi Farms who posts about me. It was like hyping up Pisco. It was like, because Pisco distanced himself from me, he hyped up Pisco as basically being like the better version of me in any way, size, shape, or form. So that became like the obsession. Now, that's not to say that there aren't legitimate reasons to like Pisco. Like, still think he's like one of the most fun people to debate, and he's incredibly knowledgeable when it comes to law shit. And even if he gives dumb political takes that I super disagree with sometimes, I don't think he's like an actual fucking retard or anything. I think Pisco's a really smart dude. And I think he does have the potential to be like a huge streamer and everything. So I'm not trying to say that like the only reason anybody watches him is because they hate watching him. That's not true. But he became like the kind of like the icon for Kiwi Farms and everything, to be like juxtaposed to me to show that like, I could find. Fuck. I was never ever going to comment on any of this stuff, so I don't have like these posts saved. I don't know how many months back you'd have to go, but Blav was like super obsessively hyping up Pisco for a while at being like my successor now that I'm like a rapist or whatever. If anybody who DMs me this shit from Kiwi Farms has a link to it, then you should shoot that to me. But
raping people, okay, literally raping people. He should be out. He should absolutely be picking more fights. It's so clear that this guy has a way more principled and intelligent position on so many topics.
Oh
Namely,
my God.
First Amendment stuff.
The glaze.
The Hasan stuff, the Palestine stuff.
Anything that he could, big disagreements with me on. Good job. Yes, true.
All of these topics he's got such good takes on. And there are so many fucking retards out there. He's a lawyer, he's a smart guy. He's, it feels like he's motivated in the right direction. You know, like he's principled. If there is a principle he believes in, that it feels like his, side are abandoning or something, he fights for that, which is, I appreciate that. And he, raped Destiny on several debates.
Nice, direct call out. Okay. This was posted on May 30th, 2025. And then this is June 3rd. This is a Blav post. Just part of it. This guy Schizo posted about me so much. So 4 days, I guess, after this clip was posted on this subreddit, I don't know how long until after it happened, I didn't post about it, but Pisco actually entertained a chatter who was shitting on him for platforming/cleaning Erudite's image. However, the fact that he entertained that kind of argument makes me think that he knows Erudite is a piece of shit, and therefore thinks Destiny is completely guilty. This is just to say that despite everything Destiny is claiming, that the case is going to get dismissed and his old orbiters are wanting to come back, that doesn't seem to be the case. Pisco, although probably believes Destiny's audience is a powerful tool to weaponize, doesn't seem to be buying any of Destiny's bullshit regarding his case at all. Yeah, so there's like a ton of posters sort of around this time. This has like been their fascination for the last few months. This is one of like of hundreds of posts that people make on this shit. It's actually so fucking unhinged. I don't know why this guy wouldn't make an oh, nice. DGG Snark. Pixie's legal team issues scathing reply, and another victim comes forward. The right to publicity. Does Hasan Piker have a legal case against redact.dev? Jesus. This Queeman guy admitted on stream multiple times that he talks directly to Hasan in DMs. If that's true, that's pretty funny. It's so blatant how mind-broken Jizcord and Jiz himself are over anything involving you. They all hated Pisco and hated his yes or no questioning style before any of his most recent shit happened. Now it's totally flipped. Yeah. It is what it is. Okay. I don't know if I have anything else for this right now. I don't understand the incentives for Gistigal to turn on you like this. Wouldn't he have more money / viewers by staying as your leech? I think there's other stuff that drives people more than that. I don't know in particular for him, though, given that he quit his software engineering job and everything. I can't say. But I used to think that. Remember, I thought that for like Lab and Mr. Girl. I never thought that they would like nuke their entire online presence for whatever weird obsessive thing they had against me. Oh, fuck. I think this is about to get outed. Whatever. I don't care. So I think they're watching my stream now in Gistigal's Discord because I'm literally the most entertaining thing they have to talk about. 7. Okay, so this is basically now. I must have missed this recruitment drive you've been doing to push things in a certain way. These are people in Logistical's Discord server. Is that what you do when you argue with retards on stream about a topic that has nothing to do with Destiny? I don't know if it still exists in their server, but somebody told me that a month ago, Logistical created a dedicated room in his Discord server to argue with people about my court case, by the way. So he's going to bring Queeman on then, right? He's such a puss, he will bring him on, right? LOL. Oh, the shell boner person is also like an obsessed person who talks about me constantly, like for months in these Discords. It's fucking insane. I love it that Destiny acts like Justigal's doing some background shit when he's just on stream having a different opinion than him, and he stated most of his opinions before Destiny even said anything. Like, this is ignoring all of the weird side Discord servers, the obsessive talking in that spicy chat Discord server, that I think Chud Logic just privated it or made it so new people can't join. Oh, also, I just saw that Chud just said that he banned somebody for doxing in the spicy chat Discord. Finally, saying that he'd warned this guy for like a week. And he had to finally ban him for it. Fuck! I don't save this shit. I just decided yesterday I was going to talk about this more, so I don't have like all this shit saved. It's in my DM somewhere. I haven't prepared it. Also, he said all this shit about how he's a victim being gang-banged by Queeman and Justical and everyone that breathes around him, and gave 0 clips, logs, or any proof. LeMayo, he makes schizo associations. Yeah, that shit. Alpha Kiwi Farms hate go back. Were they a part of the campaign trying to get your sponsors pulled from like Optic or Root? No. The Kiwi Farm stuff became unhinged. I think around the time at the end of like 2023, early 2024, when I started to not do kind of drama content anymore, I think those people started to get really weird or obsessive, yeah. And then obviously the whole solo Pixie thing. By the way, and that leaker guy, the guy who leaked all of my shit, that guy was a member of Queeman's community as well. Crazy how that works, huh? Literally, all Destiny saying in response, that's unhinged, crazy. This is how he looks while he's taking pictures with a fan. It seems like a happy guy. He surpassed Keffels. Talking about Nathan, nice, good stuff. Destiny log a 2-hour. I don't know how there's nothing going on also in any of these people's lives. Also, like I'm doing this now, I have like dozens of Imager albums that people send me. Again, these people have obsessively talked about me for months. It's insane. Notice how the only time he's defending Kyla on his stream is when he's using her as a weapon against Logistical. Remember, the only reason I'm even talking about Kyla is because this guy literally included her in his post. Yeah. I don't even know why the fuck. I don't know why she's even. I don't know why she's in here, and because she just got doxxed by Kiwi Farms because they're saying to call ice on her for like the 50th fucking time. And who the fuck is calling ice on her? Definitely on this community. Bruh, we didn't even allow Kelly to shit talk his GF too much. I don't even know what that's in reference to. Although I think Kelly has split over the Cherry stuff. No one should use not so erudite as a blunt weapon. She has enough CTE as is. So one of the jokes that they make on Kiwi Farms all the time is that Kyla got kicked in the head by a horse and so she's retarded or whatever. That's like a huge talking point from. So that's like a KF talking about. But these people also like they cross post shit from KF like constantly on here. But then obviously you'll have them denying that they, do any of that or talk about any of that. But like, it's very obvious if you're like familiar with the communities. It's always like the plausible deniability shit. Hold on, somebody said this. What?
Some off because I know he watches my stream all the time. And Quinn was like, "Yes, we will do that from now on." It was live. Okay. Destiny.
Wait, hold on.
remember if it was live on stream or if it was in a private call. I think it was live on stream. My point, he fucking owned a... But yes, who would you rather have as U.S. president, Charlie Kirk or Hasan Piker? By more than 2-1, it's Hasan Piker. Get out of here! Stop agreeing with Pisco! By the way, my number one piece of advice for Destiny yesterday was to basically say you were wrong and never engage with Pisco again, because every time you engage with Pisco, he's going to fucking own you because he works harder than you, he's smarter than you, he's more handsome than you, he's better than you in every way, and he will continue to fucking own you and take your audience from you.
It's just crazy how like blatant the anti-fanning. It's just like, but it's so funny because if you watch the Kiwi Farm stuff, like they've praised Abby, the like mentally ill girl that is just nonstop posting about crazy shit on Justical server, but he doesn't want to ban her because he likes the anti-fanning farming that he could do for me. They stand Pixie, they stand Cherry, they stand Hasan now. They shit on Ethan Client. Like, it's the partisanness of all of it is just so fucking funny to me. I don't think we watched this on stream, but like I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, Justical had like a 1-hour science segment with Kelly Jean, where Kelly tried to educate the audience on what the periodic table of elements was. It was just like the funniest fucking thing. It was just fucking hilarious. You did show us that? I don't know. I showed one thing, but then I think when I made a response on it, the next stream they did another response. They had like science hour with Kelly Jane. I don't remember if I showed that one or not.
Pisco, he's going to fucking own you because he works harder than you, he's smarter than you, he's more handsome than you, he's better than you in every way, and he will continue to fucking own you and take your audience from you. If you continue to engage with him, you will be left penniless on the street. Now, I would love that, but I'm just saying from a pragmatic point of view, stop engaging with Pisco, he fucking owns you, okay? That's all. That's all. Pisco grows a beard better too. I've been saying this, Myra. That is in fact my point.
Oh, and then Jacob, the guy who is super mad at me because I fucked his girlfriend before they started dating. Jacob and the rest of them also like obsessively talk about, because I have a condition called alopecia areata, which is an autoimmune disease that attacks your hair. So when my beard was missing this huge like chunk, apparently Kiwi Farms thinks I just draw it in now and none of it's grown back, I guess. But they like to bring that up as much as possible too, because apparently it super really bothers me.
Dude, this is maybe the only...
I don't know who started this. I don't think Hasan gets credit for this, but like the super fake laughing. Like the ultra fake laughing on every single talking point.
Pisco grows a beard better too. I've been saying this, Myra. That is in fact my point. Dude, this is maybe the only... I can't remember if it was live on stream or if it was in a private call. I think it was live on stream. But me and Queen were sitting here. And I brought up this point. I'm like, dude, I'm just going to start saying how much better Pisco's beard is than Destiny's to piss him off. Because I know he watches my stream all the time.
And then the really funny thing about this was when Kelly revealed that it was actually Chad Justical who was feeling bad for being fat. And apparently Kelly and Cherry, I guess, were trying to console him because he was like super overweight now because he stopped going out or doing anything and is depressed and is crazy or whatever, depending on how much you believe from Kelly. So I guess that's where the fat accusations come from, to try to cover for Justical's, I guess, insecurity around it.
And Queen was like, yes, we will do that from now on. It was live? Okay. I was like, oh, that's some like cabal shit in the background, but we did it live, okay. It's very funny to me. And then Destiny started calling Pisco a communist, so like, who's really winning? Who's really winning, okay?
I don't think I've ever called Pisco. I don't think Pisco is a communist. I just don't like that they give cover to those people. But I mean, obviously, I know that Chisel was not trying to cover anything in good faith or whatever. So, I mean... Oh, wait, I have a thing for this.
I just think it's funny.
No, not that one. Wait. There we go.
Okay, it's us all the time. Okay, so even Destiny's subreddit shares that preference with me. So now, if you express a preference for Hasan Piker over Donald Trump, you endorse Hasan, or want to be friends with Hasan, or want to build bridges with Hasan. Absolute derangement, sorry to say. Yes, it's like, Hasan is like the fourth worst person in America, is what you're saying. And DGGers are like, no, if you don't say he's the worst, you love him! It's like, no, he's like the fourth worst, actually. You're like the fourth worst. He's like the fourth worst. No! Stop! He's the worst!
I wonder how long he covered this shit for. When was this? This was 2 days ago, an 8.5-hour stream.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, buddy. Not boy. Hey, okay, like that. Get onto the browser. Here, let me...
Oh, cool. I love that you can see all the links. Damn. Thank you for whoever linked that post. So this is Justical on stream, right? We just heard him talk about Queeman and bring up Erudite, and now he's going over the poster here, who's posting in Pisco's subreddit, who is also a DGG snarker, and a Hasan defender, and a Lunarbox poster, and now we see Justical going over his post on stream relating to the Pisco shit too. Yeah, Jesus.
What am I doing here?
Okay, and then also going over all the tweets. Does he do this for all 6.5 hours today? Okay, he's going over...
I didn't say he was evil. Can he say he was evil?
Hunter Biden stuff. Okay.
I didn't say it was evil.
In his like his like throwaway in the Sino-U.S. war. Okay, he's obviously like pro-China. He obviously has a lot of sympathies for China. So it's obvious just in his throwaway commentary, right? Like I don't think anybody's confused about how Hasan likes China. We'll do a little deeper than that to probably suss out exactly what he believes or what he
Okay, it's only for like 2.5 hours of this stream.
like ideologically commits to.
U.S. Navy.
X consented to anonymously share their experience with Thor.
This is one of those very rare, maybe unique.
Improved whatsoever. The way he delivered a pathetical response. No one wants to be in the position I'm in. It's a lose-lose situation. It's hard for me to talk about it. And nowhere did I request for you to make a specific statement.
What is this about? I don't even know. Oh, this is over pirate software shit. Oh, and then some more Destiny at the end. Nice. What's going to happen to the brains of these people if you win your court case? The talks on all the court stuff has been slowly evolving over time. Where Kiwi Farms and Justicle's community is now is the outcome of the court case actually doesn't matter at all. They've all decided that enough evidence has been released on Pixie Substack that I'm guilty of every single thing that they accuse me of, and the court case is literally just a formality, and it doesn't actually matter if I'm guilty or not. So where they're at right now is basically the outcome doesn't matter. He's literally using Ethan Klein's tactic against Snark. Just say they did CPS, say they sent skulls, and the retards will believe it. So do they think that didn't happen? Or... Bro, how did these people not get bored talking about Destiny all the time? Half the time I'll leave stream and come back because I need an attention reset. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no clue. I don't know how they can... But I'm never... I haven't been a part of these communities ever, so it's hard to say. Or it's just not the type of content I consume, I guess. Is this my friend turned also co-accuser or whatever? Best way to just ignore him and don't watch him, retard. Damn. I don't know if Stacy's the same as Stacy or whatever. It's a conspiracy when they do it being whenever he makes up and won't provide proof of or hurls loose associations that aren't connected, when his community does full send open campaigns and astroturfing, doing actual organized harassment. It's fake news. And or they are just criticizing people who deserve it. This man is a whole ass website hosting embeds for anyone they hate or random girls they bombard and harass trying to get Destiny to sex pest over them. There was some Twitch streamer, I think that my chat was watching like 2 months ago, and Blav decided that it was like a Ghislaine Maxwell situation where they were secretly trying to get this person to be like a new fuck buddy of mine. Like I don't have anybody else, I guess, in my life to have sex with right now. And then they started pushing the conspiracy, and then they were like, oh my God, we have to email her stuff and send her shit to make her know how horrible Destiny is. I don't even know who this fucking streamer is. I've never talked to this person, never DM'd this person in my entire fucking life, but they were convinced that there was like some huge like trafficking attempt there. And that's what he's referencing here, is that one person that was hosted. Oh, somebody told me that this person is... Oh, no, wait. The pink name is a demoted mod, ZZ. Okay. Jessica forced Erudite to be a stupid, condescending fuck now. Jessica gave her the brain damage. Nice. Oh, we are now the reason for some random Reddit post on the Pisco subreddit? Holy shit. He's still crying about the Dr. K nothing burger. Remember when it came out that Jessica had to commit Cherry because she was gonna fucking kill herself for 3 days to an insane asylum, and they're still dating, and he still has her on stream and in Discord spamming stuff about online drama, which is definitely the most mentally healthy thing you can do for somebody that had to be committed because they were suicidal. But this is definitely just a big nothing burger, right? Jay Gord got Abby committed after that. Wait, did they really? Sorry, I'll respond to this one more time. But Destiny, you trying to defend yourself against baseless bullshit exactly what they want. Do 1 day of recaps every month if you have to, but opening the stream with it every time just fosters fucking bullshit. So I don't know where you're getting opening stream with it every time. I'm not, but I have to point this out because these people are constantly and actively working like in all of these little other side communities that all these other people are actively a part of. Like they've doxed and harassed like Willie Mack, they've doxed Hutch, they've doxed Josiah, they've doxed Erudite. They're trying to go after like people like Food Shops, who's a person I also like don't talk to. I'm not even friends with them on Discord. These people are constantly conniving and working, and it's worth calling out. Yeah, like I have to say something. It wouldn't be a big deal if people like all the way up to Hasan weren't actively catapulting these people or their messages or their rhetoric out to everybody else. Usually these people just kind of like stay in their own side communities. But but now that there are other larger creators that are kind of amplifying everything coming from them, I have to kind of spotlight it at least a little bit. I'm new to all this. Why are they obsessed and hate you so much? I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. I actually can't answer that question. Jessica used to be kind of like a containment center for all of the weird anti-fanning, and now, or for all of the like drama, and now it just became like a massive anti-fanning server. But like all of these people also filter over into Spicy Chat from Chud Logic server, and then they filter into the commentary community through Queeman and kind of like Diorio, Nicholas Diorio. That's one of the reasons why he's so like unhinged against me on Twitter, is because they kind of have him a little bit. And then from there, they also try to like spread out to people like, you see them like dox and harass Willie Mack and go on this weird like Israeli wife attack thing. Yeah, it's all part of the group. And I guess a lot of them are jobless or they spend all day online, so they have nothing else to do besides constantly talk about this. He's really pointing to people correcting narratives to his crimes and spin that as narrative driving, being unfair. LOL. Don't hold me accountable for my actions. This is a classic Kiwi Farms line. Is all we do is we just record what happened and hold people accountable. But it's obviously they have their own spin on everything. But anyway, good memes, good times. Okay, this is going to come up because I think I have a thing scheduled to. Is it tomorrow? Okay, we have a debate tomorrow, I think, with Econo Boy and Pisco. What am I looking for? Fuck, I tweeted a lot today. Hold on. Actually, I guess I don't need to go over the tweets with Econo Boy. It'll come up tomorrow. One of the things that I'm gonna have zero tolerance on this. One of the things that's incredibly annoying is there can't be this pass given to people because they have like the socialist thing. That like just because there are nice socialists means that we can just call ourselves socialists and then also like give pass to the other unhinged socialists. The amount of tolerance that people are having for like people that are directly supporting terrorists or directly advocating for terrorism or directly cheering on terrorism like Hasan, I just think that that's like an unhinged position to take up. Destiny, what about Boner Box? I think... I don't know. My guess is Lonerbox doesn't like me because he was dating Pixie when everything came down. I don't know. I don't really care. I mean, I don't have any ill will or I don't harbor any resentment towards Lonerbox. It's his shit. I don't think he's like brain broken on the socialist shit. But I don't know. It is what it is. I took some notes on Econo Boy and Pisco's VODs from last night. Do you want me to send them to you somewhere? Or you can just send me the VOD, I guess. Destiny, no, he isn't a socialist. Okay, so Lonerbox is like one of the few people I think. Oh, people said he stopped calling himself socialist ages ago. I don't have to guess like where his opinion is on people like Hasan. I would be surprised if Lonerbox would say like we need to build a bridge with people like Hasan, because I just don't see. Because Hasan just does so much crazy and unhinged shit. I just can't see that. And then I also just need people to understand. There are just some things that you need to understand about what socialists think, because they have all the pieces there, but they won't connect them all for you. And then they dance around like hard questions using nice language sometimes. Hold on. So like, for example, socialists believe that capitalists, through ways like lobbying or advertising, they'll call it manufactured consent, that any type of large wealth disparity in society can necessarily be leveraged by capitalists to brainwash the masses into believing that capitalism is good and socialism is bad. They'll use phrases like white terror, Hasan said, or they'll use phrases, like McCarthyism, and trying to weed out communists, or they'll bring up assassinations in the past by the CIA, or legitimately, crazy shit we did during the Cold War era, and they'll say this is how capitalists control regimes. Now, from there, they'll say that they want to establish a socialist state. But then when you ask them, like, well, what would you do with capitalists or liberal parties in your state? They always kind of give these kind of wishy-washy answers where they'll say things like, oh, like we should have freedom, but like we should be careful about, like what we allow, or like we should just criminalize violent speech or something. They always give kind of like these weird answers. However, it's not a strong enough refutation of the claim that like I think you would lock people in ideologically opposed parties in prison, and it's not a strong enough support for the idea that maybe society should have multiple ways to approach, like economies. Like if you want to have some private ownership in society, is that really a bad thing? It feels kind of vague, I guess. We'll see. I can respond more specifically here. But like when I quoted Econoboy and I asked him, I'm like, hey, I'm just curious, would you ban private parties or like criminalize this shit or whatever? And his answer is like, well, I don't like people like in my chat were trying to say like, well, his answer was actually okay. Would you ban all forms of private ownership in your ideal society and outlaw parties that support private ownership? Like when the response is, practically, I think there's an upper limit on public ownership, but I think we can go even further than Norway and maintain economic growth. However, I think complete social ownership is ideal. That means that the answer is yes. Like you are banning private ownership, right? Which means that all forms of private ownership. So if I want to open a business, like I cannot hire an employee. That would be an illegal thing, I'm pretty sure, in his society. Or if he tries to say it's not illegal, he's going to do some very weird like Voshism to say like, well, I'm actually in favor of, what was it called? Anarcho-syndacticalism, or some way to have co-ops where you can have employees. Like it's always like some weird, like it's like, no, like you would ban anybody that wanted to hire an employee. Like all forms of private investment would be banned. Because if complete social ownership is what the goal is, that means that all the means of production and everything are owned by either the government or the employees. And anytime you want to start a new business or create a new product or do anything, either the government is directing it or some board of employees is, choosing it or whatever. What is this? Pisco says, Hasan or Trump, who are you voting for if you had to pick? If the former ever did win, you'd have 6 months of chaos ending with Banapanan as the general secretary, and Hasan would be thrown in the gulag right next to Ethan. Okay, true.